happens. So, all right. So we did the ShoeMoney story time last week. It was the first one, and I told a story about that you've known about me in the women's restroom years ago at Blog World, and people like freaking loved it. I mean,
It's
like,
a great story. Well, it's a great story because it catches people off guard, and you tell it so well.
I'm a good storyteller. So I just always have. I mean, that's not being cocky. Those are just facts. Right? Mm-hmm. So the funny thing is that, I mean, like, all these people hit me up about it. And it's funny, like, how many people were like, okay, I know you did that, but did it really happen? Blah, blah. Yeah, that really happened.
So are you going to share this story with everybody?
Which one?
The
nipples
women's
one?
bathroom?
It's already been posted.
Oh,
I thought, God, don't you read the blog?
Dude.
All right, so,
No.
okay, So basically, like, we got a huge response of people, and it was also so funny because people were like, dude, like, you know, how many takes did it take you to do that? How many, I just wrote Matt a comment, it was like, this guy was like, how many takes did it take you to do that? I know you didn't get it on the first one. And I was like, yeah, because that was so hard. You know, I was driving in my car and being like, yeah,
people
so
don't
I'm in the ladies' restroom, and yeah, it was, so, yeah, we don't put a lot of time into the ShoeMoney stories, but
why would you?
What we should talk about for today's ShoeMoney. So everyone wanted us to start doing it weekly. I've had like a lot of requests, so we'll just put a couple together and we'll see. I'm gonna run out of stories eventually. I don't know though. We've got a lot.
We can still. There's a lot. We
All
just made some more last weekend.
I know. So let's talk about that. I want to talk about that because I think that's a good one.
Uh-huh.
So last weekend, and for those of you watching, it would actually be a week and a half ago because you're not gonna see this till next Tuesday because we're gonna start posting them on Tuesdays. So. Nice. It's going to be like ShoeMoney Story Day for a little bit. I've tried a lot of things, and I'm getting off on a
ShoeMoney and
tangent
Cents, man.
ShoeMoney and Cents is what Party thinks I should do.
ShoeMoney and Cents.
You know, I think it's a stupid idea. But
you never know. It could fly. What do you all think?
Yeah, post in the comments what do you think. Okay, so basically, though, let's talk about Kern's event. We went to Listserv, and Jarrod went. You purchased Listserv.
List Control.
Through my affiliate link. And so... I was really glad that Jarrod could join us, and that
was awesome.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was cool. Hey, what did I do to give back to the shoe?
My kids got to eat.
Exactly.
You know? So we went to List Control. Awesome. At the Hard Rock in San Diego.
Yep.
And I mean, just straight up honest, I've never had so many people come up to me and thank me for introducing them to Frank Kern.
Mm-hmm. Well, you guys kind of are in different niches. In a way, you both are making money online, but you guys do it in completely different ways. And his people didn't know Jeremy's people, and Jeremy's people didn't know his people. So it was cool.
It was cool, and a lot of the people that I saw, a lot of big SEO people there, who also bought through my affiliate link. But I mean, you know, I sold a lot of those.
Yeah.
Sites.
You were number 2.
It was top 5. I don't know exactly the number.
You were okay.
But
okay.
It was up there.
I knew you were okay.
I made enough to buy a small house, basically, if we in a ghetto neighborhood, though. I mean, not like a pimp daddy house, but anyway. So it's rare though that you can sell something and have. I mean, people know on my list, my newsletter list. I always wanted to. I don't like to sell stuff, but I flirted around with it, and it's tempting, right?
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
But you are also like. It's a value every time you mail. So I really believe in the products that I mail for. So like Kern stuff, I was introduced to him and it taught me so much in my own business that, you know, anyway. So he's off the market now, so it doesn't matter. You can't sign up for it anyway. So sorry, he missed it.
He's out. He left the internet marketing.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. But basically, like, so it was really cool that not only all these people bought something that I pitched, you know, in that I felt a little weird pitching it because, you know, it's like, oh, ShoeMoney's selling me something. You know, I like to deliver a lot of value to my peeps on my newsletter. So Kern stuff, it did well, but everyone there who was like, hey, you know, I'm here because of you, you know, because I'm a newsletter subscriber, and thanks so much because I implemented what he said, and it's incredible. Like, it's incredible. And they go through, and I know it because, and you know it too, because we actually have gone through it.
Yep.
So one thing I thought was cool was the 4-day cash machine, which Frank put out during his pre-launch, was absolutely free. You didn't have to buy anything to get it, and I gave it out to people to do. I gave it out to my own list, and I said, go download this. I don't care if you buy it, you know, don't buy it. But implement this. Implement this. It makes so much sense.
Yep.
Then, a month later, I implement it to my list, right, that I just told go buy this 40, what it is, you send a series of 4, you know? So I sent the series of 4 emails, and we did more sales on that day to my own list than we did on launch day.
Yep.
Because of the 4-day cash thing, because of Frank Kern's little free thing that anyone could do. And I heard from story after story after story of people who just, you know, they implement the stuff. So that's a big thing is actually, I think, and I wrote about last week about the perfect business, about how gyms way oversell because they count on you to fail.
Right.
But in our industry, a thing is like you have to figure out, because you know your stuff works because you've been doing it forever.
Yep.
So when you have a product for sale, it's like how do you make that product that gets people to do what you say? So Frank does it because he's Frank. He's a very
gung-ho guy, very charismatic.
Yeah.
It comes across easy, even though we both know he doesn't like to be in front of the camera.
right. Well, he might look like be in front of the camera, but he's not the most like
Social guy.
Yeah,
he's socially
like,
awkward.
He's not in crowds, you know,
Yeah.
and stuff like that, like
Yeah.
like I am, you know. And
Or
so
you can just meet anybody, talk to anybody all night.
well, that's because where I come from, you know, it's like, you
Yeah.
know, I'm Mr. Social guy.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's like I don't, and to be honest, like most of the time when I'm there, it's like hours of people coming up telling me how awesome I am. So I just,
And just for all you people out there, if you're going to come up to Shoe at a conference, buy him a drink first. Tip.
unless I'm already shit-faced, because then I end up getting carried up to my room, you know, and stuff. So
It happens.
not that that's ever happened, but
Yeah.
and I quit drinking a while back and then started again. But anyway,
another
so
story.
all right. So, but one thing I thought was funny was all these people who had these products. This is where we're gonna get. You know what I'm gonna talk about.
I know where you're going.
We couldn't stop laughing because all these guys, and no offense if you're the guy I'm talking about, but it's like the new rage is info products. Everybody's got to make a product, right? I mean, like I heard some jackass made a system, a ShoeMoney system or something, right? It's hot, right?
Nice.
So, yeah, always got to take a shot of yourself. So, but basically, like, all these people, now that I sold Frank Kern stuff and one of his biggest, I mean, went up against the biggest marketers on the internet.
That was one of his biggest launches to date.
And then I sold a ton of, you know, Andy Jenkins stuff and a ton of these other guys in that space because they are great value. Now I'm on, like, the radar, right? And as you just know, the last 3 phone calls to my phone, I had Jarrod answer just to verify. One was to have me as a keynote speaker
Yep.
at their event. The other 2 were to have me promote their products. And,
Right.
and they're always the same pitch. Oh, this guy, you know all these guys. And I'm like, I don't know these guys. I don't know, dude. I mean, like, no offense. And I don't use my list like these other guys do.
Yeah.
You know, like, I really don't want to pitch, you know, all this crap.
Because there's a
I've
line
never...
you cannot pitch. You got to give value.
Right. Right, and
then
I don't
maybe slightly
you know,
pitch.
I don't have a problem with those guys who do that because I'm on their list. I see
Yeah.
it. I see the stuff. I filter most of it into one thing because I like to just see how they're doing it. But so the products were really funny that we were talking about because there's Traffic Geyser, who's the guy who makes that is a cool guy, and
Yeah.
Mike Koenig, I think is his name.
Awesome service.
Koenig. Cool. It's cool. I've never used it, but I've heard from people like you that it's very cool.
It's good service.
So,
So props to you, brother.
Pops, I think it's Mike Koenig. If not, whoever it is, good job.
We'll edit.
So, yeah. So basically, like, but we were talking about how everybody's got like Traffic Voodoo, Traffic Kung
Traffic
Fu,
Swarm, Traffic
Ninja,
Julius.
Traffic Julius. Is what we came up with. I came up with Traffic Schnitzel,
Traffic Shizzle.
Traffic My Nizzle. It's
Traffic-
like, but then it's like you can make a Mad Libs for these
Right.
info products.
Exactly.
So you thought about a site of making infoproductgenerator.com, where basically it's like, what's your product about? Make money online, SEO, boom, boom, boom,
Yep.
boom, 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 and it's like, what adjective best?
Insert
So
adjective.
it's like, you know, like SEO ejaculation, you know, or like,
It's true.
It's true.
It'd sell, man. It would
Or
sell.
it's like the mystery of making money, or you know, that's really lame. That's not a big deal. But it's like, you know, but it's always like the mystery or the blueprint. Or the, you know, I mean, the magic thing, the magic sauce. Like,
secret
why
sauce.
do these all sound...
Traffic secrets, SEO
Yeah.
secret,
Yeah.
ninja tactics.
But it's like, you know, when I hear that, I mean, do people actually buy into that? I mean, I should have called mine the ShoeMoney Secrets.
Which would have been good.
You think so?
Yeah.
When I hear secrets or voodoo or, you know, explosion or, you know, like...
It just makes you laugh.
It makes me laugh. I'm like, what the freak is this guy selling? And then I look at his number and I'm like, God damn, I can do that.
But see, what that's done is it's tripped your curiosity. You're like, what is he doing? You're like, he's such a jackass with that stupid secret. So you click on his stuff and you look at it and you're like, whoa, he's doing all these sales. It's amazing.
Well, yeah,
It's just the idea to get your brain in the right mind.
The thing is, like, I get in that mode of like, I'm laughing, oh, this guy's a retard. And then I actually meet him or one of his, like then I meet, like, I'm good friends with John Reese or somebody who knows him. And John's like, yeah, I laughed, but that guy made $8 million. And you're like, what? You're like, what? I actually spit on myself there. So it's like, but that's it though. I mean, it's like, what? Where's the line?
Well, like, where's it gonna go? Because where do you go from there?
I don't think I go very far. I don't feel comfortable calling something I have
system.
Like, yeah, I mean the ShoeMoney system. It's the system, but the ShoeMoney system. The ShoeMoney is the brand that we've been building.
Sure.
Like I think I could call it the ShoeMoney ejaculation.
It actually would do awesome. We should test that.
No, but we could call it
the ShoeMoney the ejaculate.
Shoe Julius. Shoe. See, you're getting silly on me.
Me.
But basically, that's the bottom line. Is that So that's basically recapping. But let's give some.
Well, there's a lot.
Let's talk about takeaways from Kern's event.
That's a great question. Takeaways.
So first of all, Frank announced he had the Wolf of Wall Street guy. Dude made hundreds of millions of dollars, maybe billions. Went to prison for a little while. And
Jordan. I'm blanking on his last name.
Anyway, so Frank and him are going into business together. Frank's exiting the internet market.
Can we announce that? Is it?
I think
are we giving permission to that now? You pretty much okay.
Well, all right.
Well, he's going
he allegedly is leaving the internet marketing space.
Yep.
So you didn't hear from me. You heard from Jarrod.
To do other
things.
Who
was an attendee, but
yeah.
So, but basically, like, I think huge takeaways for me. Like, I told Jarrod, like, the first day, like, I'm the type of person where I get information overload, and then it's like,
you gotta go implement the stuff like you talked about.
Yeah, I get pissed off. I do.
You get mad. I'm like, you gotta leave the conference.
I can't hear it anymore. I'm just like done. I go upstairs and I start working on stuff.
Right. Well, it makes sense. It's overload.
So a conference like that for me had so much information that people were there taking all these notes. I can't do that. I get 3 or 4 ideas in my head from something, and I'm done. I don't want anymore because you know what? I won't do anything.
It's paralysis or analysis paralysis type of deal. Like
paralysis by analysis.
Exactly. So much to do, and the key with these guys are products of that. They actually implement what they teach. Like, so you don't just go buy a product and let it sit on the shelf and collect dust and go, I should have done it or whatever. You go out and do it. But Jeremy's nailing it. Grab 2, 3, 4, 5 things. Go do it right away while it's fresh in your mind.
Right.
Otherwise, you're gonna go home. You're gonna fall back into with family, and or even if you have a day job or whatever. You won't do it. It'll be 2 weeks, and the next thing a month goes by, and you haven't put it in your system at all.
I thought one of the bigger takeaways for me, which I know the crowd took away too, was he talked about association a lot.
Yeah.
And how an important thing for him, as he did with Anthony Robbins, was to associate with Anthony Robbins and stuff like that. And so he was saying, but a lot of you obviously can't call up Anthony Robbins and get him.
Tony.
So how do you? So he was talking about. What's the other thing? It's association, the borrowed association. So he was saying, like, and the biggest example obviously was Oprah and how she said that she was using SCI stuff. So that all these guys were like, yeah. And so all these guys all of a sudden were like, use the stuff that Oprah uses. Well, then she got mad about that. But that's basically borrowed association.
Gotcha.
Like that. But he showed actual examples. And the thing I really like about Kern is, as Jarrod said, as he goes through all the stuff, he shows exactly what he did and exactly the difference it made.
Right.
And that's something that I've tried to do. Whenever I talk about something, I try to give specific examples. Like we're going to make the Good Karma List Machine video here pretty soon.
Yep,
and
it's awesome.
And it's something that...
It's huge value, and it'll explode your business, actually.
Yeah, it's a karma explosion.
Good Karma.
Yeah.
Explosion.
Yeah, Good Karma Explosion. We should since we wrote it, we should rename it.
I think so, but hey, mad props to Kern and Trey and those guys for even putting it together.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
You just took something that was kind of broken and fixed it and made it cooler. And that's just adding value. That's the whole thing.
That's another key takeaway.
Adding value.
So, Frank had this one section called Ask the Experts or something like that, where he called John Reese on stage, Andy Jenkins on stage, and who's that other guy? Me. That's who it was.
Well, you, but then there was one other dude.
You're supposed to say me.
There's one other dude.
Kind of freaking person.
Go back that. We can go do it again.
Well, maybe. So I was pretty humbled to be on stage with those guys because the Frank Kern, Andy Jenkins, John Reese, and the other guy that we can't
Well, now
think of his
guess
name
what?
of, but
You are associated
I was just gonna see how
with
lead to
those
that.
guys.
But did you see how I did that?
That's a nice lead.
Do you see how I associated myself with that by telling a story about being up there? So that was one of the takeaways. But one of the questions a guy had was, well, one of them, it was, how do I get you to promote my stuff? Which I thought was a good question. And it was funny because one of the guys there was a guy who got Frank to promote his stuff. And I think we signed things that we can't talk about what exactly was said. But basically the concept of it was that you need to give value in order to get value, right? Mm-hmm. So if you want my attention, I get 90 people a day that, maybe not 90, but
you want my attention. Give me some attention.
Even if it's 10 people a day that ask me,
give me some attention from.
Yeah, as you know, 2 people have called in the last hour that you talked to.
Yeah.
Who wanted me to promote their shit. So it's like, so the best way to do it is actually help somebody first. So even if like people who sell a couple of like the ShoeMoney system or whatever, they're on my radar. Even if you sell 10 of them,
prove yourself worthy first before you ask for something in return, because it's the golden rule, right?
Right.
It should be that simple.
Yeah, it's very simple, and I'm happy to help those. But people who contact me and are like, "Hey, we never talked, but blah blah blah." I don't care if you are the biggest guy in the world. I don't care who you are. Like I don't know you, and that's the one thing I'm always very careful with is associating myself with people who, I don't want to promote some guy's product who's going to
don't know their track record. You don't know if they're capable of doing anything.
And somebody who has ripped me off in the past, or who has done me like that, not only will I never promote, I probably am very unlikely to do business with anyone who's associated with that person.
Right, and that's a huge negative.
I hold a grudge like that,
especially in this business.
Yeah, and that's just me, and people know me over the years like that. There's people like that I won't freaking touch with a 10-foot pole. So anyway, that's a big takeaway for people out there who write me and are like, "Hey, would you promote my stuff?" Blah, blah, blah. Another way is just to go to a conference and talk to me at a conference. And if you get me to commit, and my word is good, and if I hear about it and I say, that's really cool, man, I really want to help you. There's a guy who's got a WP beginner or something like that who caught me at Yannick's event, and he was like, dude, he's like, John Chow wrote about my site, it was really cool, but I really would like to get you to write about it because you're a lot cooler than John Chow. So I was like,
so he did that.
Did you see that? He didn't really say that, but I think he said something like that. But was it Charles Dickens said, "I'm not going to tell the story the way it happened, I'm going to tell it the way I remember it"? So kind of thing.
I don't know if it was him, but I like that quote.
Yeah, it's a good quote, and from one of the best-selling authors of all times. All right, so what was I talking about? Yannick's event. This guy came up to me, WP beginner thing, and he was talking about, and he explained to me, and I was like, "Hey, you don't have to tell me. Tell me what it is, And
tell me what it can do.
Yeah, tell me about it. Tell me what it is. Like don't come to me and say all these guys promote it, so you should promote it. Because to that I'll say, well then go after those guys that care about that kind of thing. Sure. I want to know, what are you trying to sell me? What are you trying to sell me on? Cut to the chase, because
just get to the point.
I got a ton of other people to talk to here. So don't tell me how cool you are again and again and again. And not that kid did that. He's a cool guy. I think his name is Say Balky or something like that. I'm gonna totally screw that up. So sorry, dude. But I'll write about it soon and make it up to you. But basically, it's a really cool site. It's a really good site, and I actually looked at it. So if you can get to an event, I think that it's huge. If you want somebody to promote your shit, you should get to an event and freaking talk to them and just be like, "Hey, I'm so and so," and then that
real quick. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but quickly do it in the first 10 seconds of the conversation, because you were approached a lot at the event, and then you could see. I could see you just be like, "I'm lost," because this person's just blabbing about themselves. And I know it's human nature to want to talk about yourself, but you've got to be more like, what is it in for Jeremy to promote your stuff? So give him the rundown.
You want to know who's the guy I talked to the most at Kern's event, and you don't probably even know, is this guy who came up to me and he's like, "Hey, I want to talk to you a quick second." He's like, "What the hell did you think of the Lost finale?" See, we talked for probably an hour.
Well, you know why he knew that? Because he probably reads your blog and he knows you're a huge fan of Lost, and that's his in.
It was.
That's good marketing. That's good marketing.
We talked about that, and we talked about one of your favorite shows on HBO with vampires.
Oh yeah, True Blood.
Just getting ready to fire up here again.
Yeah.
And we talked about that, and then he led to kind of like, and then it actually, I asked him,
"Hey, what are you doing?
What do you do? What are you doing here?" And we got to talking about his stuff, and and it was almost like I was like, "Let me help you," kind of. You know what I mean?
That's very interesting.
I mean, just like trust me, listen to me. If you want somebody to promote your shit, find out something about them. Don't just go up there and pitch them. There was this one guy who I shouldn't even talk to him about him because I'm sure he's watching this. But you know who I'm talking about.
I was standing right there.
We'll let it go. But the guy came up to me at least 5 different times and told me how awesome he was and all this stuff. And you were there the last time where I was like, oh my God, dude, yeah, you've already talked to me like 5 times about how awesome you are and how when you call Frank Kern, he picks up the phone, and when you call John, but you still haven't told me what the fuck you're selling me.
Yeah, it's
I mean, I was just straight up with him. I was like, what are you trying to sell me? And then he said it, and it was totally stupid. I don't even know why he wasted my time. Like,
Well, then he had his buddy come over and like
introduce
me.
me.
I was like, hey, I want you to meet my buddy, and you're like, you looked right him in the eye. I met you 5 times already.
Yeah, why are you having people introduce you to me again? Like, just so you want to be like that? This shit doesn't work.
That's weird. It's just plain weird.
I don't mean to be a dick about it, but I mean, like there was 500, 600 people at this event, and I want to talk to everyone there. I wanted to meet everyone there. So it's like, dude, if you're gonna, I don't want to hear about how awesome you are and whatever. You came up to me, like, just tell me like, hey, I'm John. I have this product, And I'll tell you what, and this is maybe egotistical, whatever, but when people come up first and like, hey, John, or they talk about a post I wrote or something. Mm-hmm. They're like, hey, you did this one thing that was cool, and that's how I know you. That's cool because it shows like you actually are just, somebody just didn't say, hey, there's ShoeMoney, you should go get him to promote you. Because that's what I figure.
It's like, hey, I'm nobody.
Hey, I got traffic explosion in your mouth kind of thing.
Wow.
Well, that's what it's getting to. So, all right, I think we should wrap this up. This is a long one.
You got some good takeaways on that. It's good.
Yeah. Thanks, Party, for coming over.
Hey, no problem.
So, do you have a good time at Kern's thing?
It was great. My takeaway was just add value, which is totally copying Kern, but it's completely true. And be a good person, do good things, give people what they want. Don't horse around.
Yeah,
and people like you, and people buy your stuff.
That's true. That's the best thing I think Kern teaches that, is just a good value to have in the info marketing space is that, and I can speak for myself. If you look at my blog, I've been writing that going on 7 years.
6 years, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I've never charged anyone to read the blog, right? And there's been a lot of people. We met, remember?
You had people come up to you, yep. You had people come up to you saying, I learned such and such from your blog.
And one dude said they made like $60,000 a month from my ringtone pay-per-click shit that I talked about
back in the day.
4 years. They were like, you totally changed my life.
Yep, and they launched another business off of that business.
So
and are feeding 2 families, and they bought 2 new houses in San Diego. So there's money there.
I love meeting those people. And
so that's the type of stuff.
Yeah, and so when you give, and this sounds really sappy and really but it's honestly true. Like I have been giving value to people.
You said that
in the form of my blog.
Sure.
For going on 7 years, I've been, I speak for free most of the time at, unless it's a keynote or something. And then even then, the money goes to charity, which is our local favorite. We should give a shout out to Lincoln, People City Mission.
People City Mission in Lincoln.
Surprised they don't wear ShoeMoney shirts as much money as we give them.
I think we should probably give them some more.
Yeah.
Just give them more shirts.
We should have all the homeless in the Lincoln. Like, when we go down there, we give them all of the shirts that we get for Free Shirt Friday.
What can we sing?
No, dude. We got to end on a good note. So, basically, I'm the worst at wrapping up stuff.
Or not, just wrap it up. We'll be done. We'll see y'all next time.
We'll see y'all next time.